Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines. Well, you're going to like this one. Now, you know I have talked about and have always believed that XRP could have a price set, price floor, possibly become a stable coin. Well, now you're going to hear others say it, and they're sitting right next to Marcus and Fanger from Ripple when they say it. We got that and so much more. XRP just may be becoming a stable coin right before our eyes. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, it's $2.51 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 7.5%. Oh my, 63,300 plus for Bitcoin right now, 3,200 plus for Ethereum. We see $103 billion plus market cap for Tether. XRP is at 59 cents. We're off by 2.1 to 24. We're off by 15.9 on the 7-day. And respectively, Ethereum's off by 18.5 in the same stretch and 12.5 down on Bitcoin as well in the same run. Looking at the price range right now, we've gone as low as 57 cents overnight and as high as 67 cents with a 10-cent swing. That is very much uncharacteristic to XRP as it sits at 59 cents right now. We will keep a close eye on it, but I want to remind you of this. It's XRP Las Vegas, the largest XRP conference in the world, May 3rd, May 4th, 2024 at the MGM Grand, baby. Yes, what a beautiful, beautiful facility, and the people are amazing too. 44 days, book your room and stay right on site, right there. Click that link and get a discount price because you're in the XRP army, baby. And come on in. Get your ticket, stay right on site. It is a beautiful facility, I'm telling you, and the conference we have in store for you is amazing. Click this link and get your ticket for a private dinner with Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Giancarlo, John Deaton, and so many others. You won't believe it. But you got to click this one to get your general admission ticket because VIP tickets are sold out. Don't miss the opportunity to be a part of this event. There are so many critical things happening in the XRP space right now with the XRP ledger and amendments. This could be the most important conference that you ever attend. There's no question about that. Get the link before they're gone. And there's a merch link underneath the video as well if you want to get some killer XRP LV merch. Let's start right here. We all know BRICS, the end of the dollar is near, they say, according to an ambassador of the union. We know that BRICS coalition, along with an initiative called Project Sandman, which includes over 100 nations that are in clear intended to drop the US dollar simultaneously. Now, you can imagine the implications of this could be very devastating. Nevertheless, that's the global geopolitical angle of how they feel about the dollar. Now let's talk about this for a second. We covered this yesterday, and give XRP drops a follow. This guy's no joke. Tether's world's largest stable coin, according to the CFTC taxonomy, Tether's world's largest stable coin with a market capitalization of more than 100 billion would not be classified as a stable coin under the proposed CFTC taxonomy. Well, and we know that we have in the EU, we know that we have MiCA regulations. Well, crypto exchange OKX has discontinued offering USDTether pairs for users in the EU. Could this possibly be foreshadowing of regulatory headwinds in the region for the largest stablecoin? And to back that up is Bitfinex right here sharing Tether fraud banned in the EU. And this is the actual sending to customers, letting them know they are discontinuing that pair. And that is a massive, massive blow. Will this continue around the globe? That's the question. And if it does, what will it do to the market? Specifically, Bitcoin and Ethereum, especially Bitcoin's dominance, right? Understanding these ETFs are underway, what will it do? It may shift the demand to the ETF over the asset itself. I don't know, but we will see. But I tell you this, we've been talking about Tether for a long time for a very good reason. Now I want to show you this. Stellar Network excuse me, holds the largest market cap of tokenized treasuries with over $400 million worth issued on the network, passing Ethereum with $354.2 million on their network. And listen, I have a feeling with this whole Prometheum's going to list Ethereum as a digital asset security, that this is the platform Prometheum doing the bidding for the SEC, because the SEC, I don't think, can really sue Ethereum. Because if they do, then Joseph Lubin and everyone else, Vitalik Buterin, will have the right to call for discovery. And then we could start getting into the ugly back and forth of the messages we all want to know about that the SEC has clearly been denying the release of in FOIA requests to empower oversight. However, looking at this and understanding the trouble that may be before the Ethereum network, we see that Stellar has passed as far as tokenized treasuries go, and that could continue to be a trend, and you just may see XRP become a part of that trend, because I highlighted yesterday, Monica Long was on stage with Team GECO. GECO is a bank built for U.S. treasuries. So for businesses and people, and this is pretty remarkable because they're getting into the treasury business here, it seems like, with GECO. Now, they're just talking to them, so maybe they're not working with them. I don't want to jump too far, but it would certainly feel like that there could be some synergy here between Ripple, XRP Ledger, and GECO. This could get super, super exciting. Now, I highlighted yesterday as well very quickly, because you're going to see some stuff today is going to blow your mind. Brito, Arthur Brito, co-founder, co-creator of the XRP Ledger in 2013, said that I believe Ripple will eventually support bonds and bond markets. Well, that deepens the curiosity about GECO being on stage with the president of Ripple, Monica Long, here. Super exciting. Then there's this transition from legacy formats from ISO 20022 to the current new version. And I want you to listen to what this lady says here about it all.
And so, one not new development, this is not new by any stretch of the imagination. However, it's becoming more top of mind as we are coming to the end of the coexistence period, right, of this ISO 222 migration. This has been in the works for over 10 years, but what this is Swift transactions globally moving to a new standard of messaging, which is intended to be fully enabled by 2025. This has been in the works again for over a decade.
And there you go, by 2025, right? There we have it. 9 months till it's completely done with the coexisting phase, right? Super, super exciting, understanding that this new standardization, which again was a protocol that's been chosen for more than a decade ago to use for this new standardization, and the coding of digital assets will allow the movement of tokenized value along with this rich data messaging standard. So this is super exciting. We are pointed in the right direction, ladies and gentlemen. I like where this compass needle's pointing. And then you're going to like this too. Listen to this about making payments as easy as email.
But I'll let Marcus start, since he's the big co-guy here.
I appreciate that. So look, if you think about how we're used to experience like the world today in the 21st century, in an internet-based environments, basically everything is seamless and instantly, right? And so that's actually working with information pretty much, but it doesn't work for money. And I think if you look at the core of how the financial infrastructure is working, you realize, hey, there's a lot of red tape that originates from the fact that these technologies at the root have been built like some 50 years ago. And sure, we've been building patches on top, but it's still reliant on this core infrastructure that hasn't transformed the same way the internet has transformed information. And so how that expresses itself, all that red tape, is in terms of inefficiencies around cost and speed in particular. I think the World Bank released a report in Q3 last year that an average remittance payment over $200 is still somewhere at 6%, which used to be 9%. But that's still a lot. And the target is something like 3%. I think using blockchain technology, we can do better than this even. And the average payment takes, I don't know, somewhere between 1 and 5 days. And it's just incredible to imagine that in our time and age, in many of these corridors, the fastest way to go and move money is by actually hopping on a plane with a suitcase of cash, right?
And he's absolutely right as he wraps it there with the Brad Garlinghouse analogy. It's true. And the thing is we just covered a gentleman a couple days ago who said the market infrastructure is built on the wholesale back end. So the catalyst with that understanding is actually clarity. The log jam has always been clarity. We get that. You're going to see all kinds of things happen in this space. Now we get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Subjective Views and give them a follow. They put out amazing content. And here I want to say this is no less amazing. In fact, this is one of the greatest pieces they've put out. From the same conference, this is Marcus and Fanger right here, sitting on stage next to this gentleman who I don't know who it is at this point, but I'll tell you what, you're going to love what he says and his understanding of XRP, because he refers to XRP being a stable coin. Listen to this. This is why I tell you stablecoin legislation is so very important, not only for the space, but because of what it could mean potentially for an asset like XRP.
Around which platform / rail / asset becomes the one?
I don't think there'll be only one. But it's very clear that, for me, the direction of travel, the stable coins. And I do think that using XRP and the Ripple network has very strong use cases as well. Arguably, XRP is a type of stable coin in itself as well.
Whoa! What did he just say? What did he just say? And Marcus and Fang are sitting there just looking. Listen, this is the kind of, if that gentleman, let's just take this for an example. If that gentleman said XRP is just like Bitcoin, do you think Marcus and Fanger would let that comment go? I think he would politely and professionally come back in and say, with all respect, we're nothing like Bitcoin, right? The volatility is not like Bitcoin, right? We work for payments. It's a lot cheaper. It's faster. He would have to make that distinction, right? So wouldn't he make that distinction here too? If the guy was wrong about it being a stable coin?
Using XRP and the Ripple network has very strong use cases as well. Arguably, XRP is a type of stable coin in itself as well. But
that is remarkable to me, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't budge. And actually, if I'm looking at body language, he sits still like a rock. Almost like, man, I wish you hadn't have brought that up just right now. Maybe in a short period from now, maybe it'd be better. But I say, well, XRP is a stable coin. I have to believe if that wasn't true, Marcus and Fanger from Ripple would have addressed it. Reminder, automated market makers amended to the XRP ledger in just 3 days now, ladies and gentlemen. My spidey senses are going off right now. And they really are. Because this doesn't mean that XRP would be $1. This means that XRP would be a stable coin or a global stable coin, that it could be pegged to whatever denomination it needed to represent the amount of liquidity and utility moving across that network. Think of it for a moment. This is why I've often entertained that, that you could, if this goes this way, and listen, we're going to have a similar style conversation at XRP Las Vegas here with Chris Giancarlo, the Honorable Chris Giancarlo. You do not want to miss this fireside chat. I promise you, it is not going to be like any conversation you ever witnessed Chris Giancarlo have. We have talked about it. This is not a gotcha conversation. Him and I have already outlined the areas we're going to go to. He's well aware we're going to go, and it's going to be electric, and you're going to want to be there to hear what he's got to say. The former head of the CFTC and the co-founder of the United States Digital Dollar Project. Come on in. You're not going to want to miss this. I'm telling you. I know what's coming. Get your ticket. This is going to be an incredible experience. Now, let's keep it moving. And then, obviously, we paid this yesterday. It's an old clip from Brad Garlinghouse, 2017-2018.
This is a question regarding XRapid. So it seems, according to your explanation, XRapid would use XRPs as a part of the transaction. Do you think that the existing issued 100 billion XRPs will be enough to cover once the XRapid service scales to a global full scale, or would there be a shortage?
Well, so when XRP was created, this actually was created before Ripple existed. The creators of XRP decided there'd be 100 billion units because they saw it as rather than having a smaller number with a very high price, they saw it as something. They wanted to be effectively a global reserve currency. I think the opportunity, there never will be more than 100 billion XRP. All the XRP that have ever been created have been created.
And there you have it. And I have said my personal belief is that nothing has changed about the agenda. David Schwartz's dream scenario sounds a lot like what Brad Garlinghouse has said. And honestly, David Schwartz's dream scenario sounds a lot like what I and my oldest brother had thought since 2017 when we found this asset. And it gets more and more incredible to me that we are this far into it, and it looks even stronger, the case for that scenario. This is why I'm sharing a few things in this post right here for everybody here. And look, think of it for a moment. I went over the BRICS coalition. I showed you that. They plan on ditching the dollar. Then there's Project Sandman, an initiative with over 120 or 130 nations that plan to ditch the dollar as well. What do we know? We know that XRP could be a bridge currency. It is a bridge currency. Not could be. But could it grow to serve the role of a global reserve bridge currency? We know the US dollar is also up against it at 80 years of its existence as a global reserve currency itself. 2 out of the last 5 currencies had a lifespan of 80 years. So if it's not over now for the US dollar, it is the runway for something to be done. We know Saudi Arabia joining BRICS helps to unwind the petrodollar agreement, which gives the dollar, the US dollar, its elevated status to be a global reserve currency. So what will underpin the dominance of the dollar to be able to remain for the next 100 plus years? I think it's the XRP ledger. That's what I think. And if you put the right amount of reserves on the XRP ledger, everyone will know that it's properly backed. And then it will be properly backed without a country that can bail on the agreement the way Saudi Arabia just did, or without it being backed by one commodity like gold and then it outgrows the backing itself. This, I tell you, this is pretty remarkable where we're at here. Pretty remarkable where we're at. So I just want to share that because that just got said a few days ago on stage. I don't need to play it for you again. And the question now is will we become a stable coin? Because according to Group 1B, a stabilization mechanism, it doesn't have to be a peg. A stabilization mechanism doesn't necessarily have to be the peg itself. But they could peg it. You could use things like pathfinding, which we know is already built into the ledger. You could use things like automated market makers and liquidity pools, which is coming to the ledger in 3 days, to create this stabilization. And if you get enough stabilization, maybe they introduce a wholesale CBDC on the back end in the US and underpin it with the liquidity of the ledger. Who knows? I mean, who's to say that it's not? One thing I know is for sure is this conversation just got very serious, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking of a serious conversation, let's take a look at the chart from the one and only Greg Crypto's in the house. Yeah, he says, similar to 2017, or are we witnessing something new? Historical data reveals two crosses between the yellow line, the 20 SMA, and the blue line, 50 SMA. If this resembles cycle A, then we would expect a rapid, aggressive price surge akin to the rocket ship style pump we had then in 2017, 2018. However, if it aligns more with cycle B, as you can see down here, then we would likely surpass that scenario. And as there are no evident similarities in the pattern between the 20 MA and the 50 MA, it says here, alternatively, this might be something entirely new and unexpected. He says, I firmly believe that this cycle mirrors cycle A, but amplified by a factor of 10x. Oh my goodness. Cycle A is right here. And if this is going 10x right here, oh my goodness gracious. And he says here, for example, price levels in cycle A multiplied by 10 would equate to 7 cents in cycle A becoming 70 cents in this cycle. So my target is still $27, which is 10 times of A. How about that? Please disregard some of these XRP OGs who seem to be transforming into characters resembling Agent Smith from The Matrix. I won't name names, but these agents and characters are harming the XRP community by showing impatience or boasting about gains from other coins. I can firmly state that there are still very few OGs remain staunch bulls. Salute to you. You know what? You can't see it, but I am saluting you. Every one of you, and Egg Red Crypto too. Dismiss, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do it for us. We're going into the Freedom Zone. I hope you'll join us. I think I broke my glasses with my salute. That was a nice salute if you could have seen it. Give us a follow, digitalperspectives.com. You can support the channel through the Freedom Zone for almost next to nothing. And we try to throw some extra content in there and have some conversations that go beyond the channel. And I'm loving doing that. And we're going to do that right now with you. So don't mess around. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Come on in. By the way, today we're going in on the moon landing. I got the first piece of evidence that says it was fake, and I'm going to give it to you right now.